Rinpoche, just a question. All the all the teachings, they seem to lead to, in the end, recognizing ourselves as the deities or Buddha. But my question is, why praying for somebody else works? And is there really deities going around helping people or not? Thank you.
Very good. Okay. It's actually, yeah. So, a person who can accept all things are empty or shunyata, emptiness, at the same time that everything works. Everything is on order, 2 is 2, 5 is 5, you understand? Just like the dream example I gave, it doesn't exist, but the order is all flowing. This, it's difficult to understand, I think I'm maybe simplifying a bit too much, but anyway, person who can actually really accept this, not only intellectually, but emotionally, practically, then, wow, this is the biggest source of becoming open-minded. Do you want to be open-minded? This is it. Moment someone who loses this, moment someone thinks, oh, not everything is shunyata, but there are some things that truly exist, some things are really good, some things are really bad, some things are real evil, some things really begun right in the beginning, right and early in the beginning. When you begin that, then open-minded is impossible because you are stuck. There is somewhere some sort of a, this is stated so clearly by many philosophers. For those who can chew, digest, understand, appreciate, and really live with shunyata. This is why in the Heart Sutra also says Tatyata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgati Bodhiswaha. This is the mantra that clears this, that this mantra is the one that is going to fix everything, Yes, I can speak as if mantra does actually have almost like a spell kind of, charm, spell, power. That, of course, I can say. But the reason why it has that spell kind of power is again back to shunyata. So this you need to know. Now that you know, not only the question you ask, I pray for you, I pray for them, I pray for people who I've never met. I pray for some insect crawling somewhere in Machu Picchu. All fine. They will all work. Moreover, even on the relative level, if I'm thinking about this insect of Machu Picchu right now, it means that particular insect or the insects on the Machu Picchu mountain are all karmically. There is a karmic connection. Because I'm not thinking about, insects of Croatia, sorry. I'm not thinking at the moment of what I'm saying is, I'm not, on that particular time. So if I'm thinking about somebody or some people or some group of phenomena quite intensively or even little bit, it means there is a connection. There is a connection. So that connection is also a really handy sort of bridge. But you don't actually even need that connection. Shunyata will do the job. So not only that, Consecration, remember? Consecration, Pratishta, because it is Shunyata. And I've already said, for the consecration, you don't actually need to throw rice or do anything. Everything is consecrated anyway, because everything is a Shunyata. But relatively, you don't even actually, you can even just have a devotion towards whatever a statue or a mound, even a stone in Japan. It will have its impact. So consecration. And then, yes, this is all related to the sadhana. Sadhana can sometimes become a puja also, right? Puja is like a praise, offering. It's basically offering, trying to relate. Puja is basically a means to make you closer to the truth. The truth here termed, we are using the word deity, Hla, Deva, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, whatever. So, yes, you can even do a fire puja. No puja is more potent and powerful to portray the non-duality than the puja called Ganachakra. So that's why the Ganachakra is considered really, really highest form of puja or ceremony. Because, and this is why also in the Tantra we say, oh, the Ganachakra, the Dakinis, they love Ganachakra. Devas, especially Dakas and Dakinis, especially if the Dakinis, they're a little bit moody, do a chop. Then it really fixes everything. Not because these Dakinis, they like sweets and, instant noodles and whatever is being, some things that we offer are actually very pathetic. There's nothing much, but that's not it. There is a concept, well, basically, in the Ganachakra, one of the principal the most important principle of the Ganachakra is the equality, non-duality of everything. So Gana has a connotation of together, put it together. So lot of things together. So actually, in order to properly do a Ganachakra, if there's a 4 men doing it, you have to have a 4 women, or at least men, women. If only women or men, it's not really considered Ganachakra, proper Ganachakra. And the reason is because it is a path to equality, equanimity. So actually, you can put whatever you like, whatever we think is precious, or also, actually, if you can put rubbish and, but probably not to do that because you are not a Mahasiddha yet. So maybe no need. But charger, biscuits, wine, glass of water, flowers, matches, all fine. Okay, next question. Whoever has the, yeah, please.
I was wondering, since I heard that I shouldn't worry and I should relax, I feel super anxious, and I'm wondering a lot about
Anxious of not relaxing?
yes.
Oh, that's considered good. That's part of the genuine heart of sadness.
But like, what about what you were talking about yesterday, like mood, menstruation, moon, tides? But
Yes.
I'm always worried that I'm not aligned or not in tune.
Okay, simple answer. This is why there is a Gana Chakra. Because the Gana Chakra, especially the 25th, the dragon, that always is carefully calculated to coincide with that flow and all of that. Yes, this is clearly written in the He Vajratantra.
And so that also deals with the drop and all the...
Yes, so I would say maybe do a talk is good. But I am going to speak about the concept of practice little after you finish after some questions, not finish the question. After some questions, I will talk about the whole concept of practice in the modern world. Praveen?
Yeah.
Um, could you explain how the tantrika works with this lying thing? Because I understand the example of the Buddha when he lied because of the benefit of others, but I also understand that when you lie, could be like more difficult for, if I lie, it will be more difficult for me to see the truth. How the tantrika works with it?
It depends on what kind of tantrika. If you are just joined in, you will have to take a precept which we have this morning from Ajahn, not to lie. If you are a beginner. Now, if you are getting more and more matured, and if you are becoming really, savvy tantrika, savvy, experience, then for the benefit of all sentient beings, what did Khenpo Jingme Phuntsho said? Rango Makor Jensem Matuk or something like that, right? Such a beautiful advice. Rango Makor. Rangsuk Mashab, that's right. Don't lose your, that's it, that's better. Rangsuk Mashab, how do you translate that? Do not lose your stance, don't lose your authenticity. So important. Jensem Matuk, do not stir others' mind. Do not lose your stance, sort of, your authenticity, authentic presence, your position. That, I think that Rangsuk Mashur Jinsem Matuk, I think this has all the three yanas all together in this. Such a beautiful advice. Okay, next one, please.
Yesterday we talking about bodhicitta have different level. So in middle level, a bodhisattva gonna say all the beings as all, because before the became a goat is the all, right? All the or
Yes.
sorry
Or.
sorry.
It's okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And the next level is say all the other beings as a Buddha as well. So my question is for that person say others as all, is that because he experienced himself as all at first, or
Probably, because or still supposedly doesn't look that good, right? Okay, I think, okay, after this, after you,
Yeah. I wanted to know, or maybe you can explain, what is Vajra hell and how do we end up there?
I have a prepared answer for this. because I've been asked these questions many times. Now, my answer is actually, I'm using probably the most profound level of answering. So just put your seat belt on. I think you will understand. But it is quite, the reason why you have to put seat belt on is because it's quite, what do you call it? It's kind of shocking. And I will not go through details too much. If you want, we can do it individually. Vajra hell is the territory where things make sense. Vajra hell is where things are reasonable and logical. That is the, and this is so vicious because it's so addictive. Because it's so convincing, so addictive, and it's just so beautiful too. You don't have to go anywhere, just watch any kind of YouTube these days. They're all selling reason and logic and sensibility. Yes. That will do for now. Anyway, wait. I think Jonathan wanted to ask. His hand has been raised for a long time.
Jonathan,
so.
what is it? Oh, yeah.
Vijay, so loud. I was wondering if you could tell us about some sadhanas talk about Zhangtao, and I was wondering if you could talk about
Sadhanas
this term.
talk about what?
Zhangtao, I don't know if I pronounce Zhangtale.
Sangtal?
Yeah, and
Which sadhana? Oh, I see, okay.
and I've heard translations, but if you can kind of please
What's the
tell us.
translation? What does it say?
I think sometimes maybe substanceless translucence, I think. I don't know, people probably know, others I don't. I'm not dictionary kind of mind guy.
But I have seen you experience a lot of Sangtal. You kind of live in that Sangtal state, no? I think you need to achieve state of Pinochet.
Chilean dictator? Did you say Pinochet?
Pinochet? Not the Pinochet. Not that. The one whose nose gets longer. What?
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Right.
I'm glad I asked.
Okay.
So I have a question about something that you mentioned yesterday, I think during the Q&A, where you said the biggest bardo is like from the departure from luminosity until the return to luminosity.
Yes.
That's like the biggest bardo, right?
Yes.
And then you're also talking about this cow and like the baby cow and how the baby cow always can find the way back to the mother, yeah? So my original question, I think you kind of addressed a little bit yesterday, but then it sort of gave rise to like a follow-up question. So my original question was like, what causes the departure from the luminosity? Because then the bardo starts from the departure, comes back, like, and then you sort of said like, well, there is no departure, right? Like in a way, the luminosity, there's never any departure. But if there's no departure, then how can we call this a bardo actually, if there's never any departure in the first place?
Yeah, from that point of view, it is not. Actually, I was going to say this. The bardo language is a convenient language. In order to qualify, something is in the middle. You have to have this and this. But this and this is an imaginary.
And then the sort of the second part, I guess, of the question, talking about this cow, right? When we talk about the mother and the child, luminosity, yeah, like you mentioned, the Vajra is like unsplittable, like the essence of the mind, the whole thing is that it's indestructible and unsplittable. Then, like, how can we say that the mother and the child are separate? Like, how can there be two if the mind is unsplittable?
Very
how can
good.
there be two separate
Again,
things?
very good. In convenient language. Actually, the child luminosity doesn't exist. It's a made up in order to push you and pull you. And it's good. It's a bit like the face in the mirror when you are trying to put lipsticks on. That's not your face, of course not. Then you will have to put it like this, not like this. Okay.
Namaste, Rinpoche. Could sound like a very basic question. In one of the classes, you mentioned about karma, dharma, and then moksha. But you also mentioned everything is timeless, right? Should it be linear? Is it possible that when you're in a grihasti life and you have to earn and make a living, could you also be doing those things but still feel liberated?
That moksha is timeless, same thing. From my interpretation, I don't know what Chanakya would interpret. I think closer, yeah. Moksha, liberation, right? So, liberation from the time. Time is big. Time is.
Hi Rinpoche, thank you for your time and the energy and the wisdom you're sharing around the world. First of all, also I would like to greet you from Ifaron. It's the Greeks community which is following Chokchen, and they really love your wisdom there. And I would like to ask you, are we destined to go to Chokchen path? Our souls choose this path? Did we meditate for many past lives to choose this path, or it just doesn't matter all?
Not all has to go through Mahasandhi or the Dzogchen. It's just one available. You know, the Dharma has to benefit people, beings. From that point of view, I would say the most precious Dharma that we need to really protect is Theravada. Because it's really, really touching a lot of people. Mahasandhi is for bourgeois. Theravada is for the proletariats. It's a bit like this. Sometimes I should qualify this, otherwise, I mean, the Mahasandhi mobs.
Thank you for your teaching, Rinpoche. I had a three-part question. Some of it you've kind of addressed when you spoke about the difference between fabrication and visualization. But also, like in the practices, there is this part where we are instructed to rest, meditating on the essence of emptiness without any fabrication. So, if you could explain a little bit more about the distinction between fabrication and visualization and why it's important to close that. The second part of the question is...
Wait, I better answer this.
Yeah.
Because whatever you are fabricated is an illusion. If you are attached, actually, this is good that it reminded. Someone asked, what's the difference between me thinking of myself and then me thinking I'm as a deity? Now, this is an important question because time and again, the tantric texts and the masters have said, for instance, if you visualize, if you think you are, let's say, Vajrakilaya, and you have no compassion, no bodhicitta, especially no application of shunyata, you are worshipping a devil. Absolute. It's a really, you shouldn't be, yeah, that's really spirit, and so you're going wrong path. Okay.
Thank you. The second part of the question is between processes of purification and accumulation. In purification, we seem to be working towards dissolving the skandha. In accumulation, however, sometimes it feels like we are solidifying the skandhas because we are saying, I accumulate, I gain merit, I am practicing. So, how do we do this without solidifying the skandhas?
Good. That's why I've been all along saying everything, right? There's fabrication, dissolution, this paradoxy, this contradictory kind of thing, rise, dissolve, give, offer, but selfless, no one to offer. Oh, this is wisdom and method.
So to work with that impermanence, the up and down of each, even a visualization.
Yes, yes. Even the visualization has to go.
Okay.
But even the dissolution has to go. Therefore, we rise again.
And the third part is, yeah, I think you briefly sort of addressed a bit of this. Is the strength of the deity dependent on the strength of my visualization?
The deity itself, I guess, practically speaking, I will say yes. But when you say visualization, I'm not only talking about the detail, the measurement and the color, confidence. Remember? And then knowing that the deity, that deity is like a reflection of the moon in the water. All that will make the deity so powerful, so powerful.
If my visualization is a little weak, but I have faith and I have devotion and I have confidence.
Mipham Rinpoche said, for the beginners, that is what you have to bank on to. Okay.
My question is about desire. So, because the human realm is the desire realm, and then if that makes you weak and that makes you insecure, but can we still use desire to, all kinds of desire to still basically realize emptiness? Or
Yes, not just desire. Why favor only desire? Anger, jealousy, everything. Supposedly, and that is what makes the Tantra kind of special. Yes, you can. And I think we talked about how to do it. Someone asked questions and I quoted Control de Thai, abandon, transform, and understand. Okay?
Hello, Rinpoche. Thank you very much for your teachings. I don't know exactly how to ask this question, but it's something like, is there any guideline that can be given in regards to how much formal practice we should be doing and how much worldly life kind of we should be engaging in, such that it doesn't distract us from our practice? Like, there is this spectrum between the monk that is a devoted scholar and it dedicates its whole life, and in which part of this spectrum we should find ourselves, and how do we figure that out?
I was going to say something regarding everything about the practice, but because you are asking this, maybe it's more fresh to put it also this here. So I'll give you an example. If you are a CEO of Walt Disney You're so busy, meetings, making money, whatever, all that. And all along you really, really feel, I don't know, guilty, urgency. I'm not practicing, I really have to practice. But you keep on not practicing. Okay, let's say you just keep on thinking, I have to practice. I really have to do this practice. And that versus maybe people like us who have, probably, I don't know, who claims, dedicated practitioners like yogis, monks, nuns, who do have time, but because they have time, they're kind of lethargic, procrastinating, they're not really worried. Actually they are now into the comfort zone of a retreat room, so they have sort of told themselves, oh, I'm practicing because I'm inside the room, I'm practicing because I'm sitting, or I'm practicing because I'm polishing these wooden beads. You understand? Two of this, I think I will prefer the first one. I'm this, everywhere there's so many prayers for like that. Lona tung or jinjilok, this lona tung meaning, urgency. I think this kind of person will just flip and then they're already there, kind of. Yeah, I will speak a little bit more about that later when we wrap. Any more questions?
Could you kindly say something about the union of Kirim and Zogram?
Jerim and Zogram, okay. Yeah, good. So, union of Upanakrama and Sampanakrama. Okay. Very important that you know is that actually the very reason there is a Upanakrama and a Sampanakrama, Jerim and Zorim, is because whatever you are trying to achieve, the goal, and also the ground, the base, is already united. Let me explain this. Reflection of the moon in the water is clear Upanakrama. Not there in real, solid Sampanakrama. They are there already. You don't have to make it. What happened is you got carried away by the clarity of the reflection of the moon, or this is just a reflection of, like dismissing. So this dismissing, and what's the opposite of dismissing? Accepting, really, extremely accepting, not just accepting, like working for it, striving for it. This has really made you bipolar, basically. And that is what we are trying to combat. So the whole, and in fact, just so that people can relate, this Jerim and Zogram, I would say, even though they don't term it, they don't really call it, it exists even with the Theravada. That's what I'm saying. I even got into trouble, sometimes asking too many questions. What is, begging arm, begging bowl, arm, offering? Then still talking about anatta. It's a sort of a contradiction, right? Karma, and then still talking about shunyata. But it is much more detailed and complete, I would say, in the tantric practice. So the question is how to unite, right? How to do that? Well, we have been talking about it. Okay, so we begin with Om Mahashuniyata Janabadasubhavai Makraham. It's sort of a Sampana Karama, actually. It's more the Sampana Karama kind of thing. It's just remaining in that, we call it Tejin Niji thing, isn't the samadhi of suchness. From that, compassion, all eliminating the details, mantras, lights, all that. But even during that time, you can still apply the illusory aspect of that. Then, towards the end, actual dissolution. So that's how a beginner would apply this, Upanakrama and Sampanakrama. Now, since you have received Nyingtik Yapshi, and this big part of this teaching exists in the Khandro Nyingtik and Lama Yangtik. Yeah, Lama Yangtik. For a Mahasanti practitioner, the art of not meditating, yet not getting distracted, that is, believe it or not, union of Sampanakrama and Upanakrama. That last statement, people can't chew, ordinary people. Okay.
I'm wondering, during sadhana practice, how to integrate our ordinary perception.
I can already feel it in Australians. Can you repeat that? I got distracted.
During sadhana practice,
yes,
all our perception is still very ordinary in my case usually. How to integrate that?
Okay. Are you talking like, let's say you are doing a Vajrayogini practice and you're looking at a tree and it's still a tree. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. This is clearly explained by the Mipham Rinpoche, and I think, and actually it's good that you asked because so many sadhana practitioners ask me this. There is technique of visualizing everything as a Vajrayogini, but according to Mipham Rinpoche, you don't have to. You don't, because this tree, because his attitude is they're not ordinary. It is Vajrayogini. That's the attitude. So it's a little bit exclusive sort of Nyingma tradition, we call it. Their attitude is, don't do anything, don't touch. You understand? Don't alter, don't. Like moment you fiddle around, the moment you fiddle around, the moment you touch, you are ruining it. The perfect as it is, and that is the Vajrayogini. But a reason why it cannot be accepted that easily is because Vajrayogini is painted as somebody who is so exotic and beautiful and amazing and so on and so forth. Champa?
Rinpoche, it's about talk. You said if you don't have an woman, it is not a Gana chakra. Yes, but we also, I've been, and I know many people have been, doing talk by themselves with nobody else. So what is...
I think it's then Gana Puja.
Gana Puja, all right. But how can we make it, how can you refresh a little bit their teaching?
Call up some boys. Especially with your, knowing you could easily do it. And you have a history of doing these things. Okay. Coming from you, I'm a bit surprised.
No, then my question is, Can you invite some boy who is...
Can I invite some boys?
Can I?
What are you talking about?
You said invite some boy. Can I invite some boy who is not doing the practice?
Yes. Probably it's more sort of exciting. Why would you bring all this jaded and. But no need to tell them you are doing Gana Chakra, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Speak.
I think it's okay.
Rinpoche,
Huh?
Rinpoche, thank you for your teachings. This question is not for myself, but it's a little bit slightly off topic, but connected to a lot of the talks you did about Vajrayana in 2018 in Lera Bling and different places. So, just for the record, would you be willing to talk about the dangers of people that seem to be giving empowerments who are not necessarily qualified, to the people who are giving them, to the people who don't know that they're not qualified, who go to those people and receive empowerments, and to the dangers of Vajrayana in general? Because this is a public talk and I think it'd be really helpful if you could spell it out.
So, danger of receiving it from those who are not qualified.
You hold it like this. Hold.
Yes, and also for the people who are actually giving it, who are not qualified, who may not realize they're not qualified.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, where do we begin? It's a bit like this, generally, not only Vajrayana, Coaching, okay, anything. When you coach somebody, it doesn't matter whatever, flower arrangement. It's absolutely important that you know who you are coaching, and therefore certain information you may not want to reveal. Otherwise, it ends up becoming concept. I don't know, I'm not giving you a good example. Let's say there's a golden flower on the top of this mountain. And I really want you to see it. But I don't want to ruin it by saying there's a golden flower on the top of this mountain. I should say, oh no, there's a nice cow a little bit up there. Then when you reach there, cow, it's a little bit of satisfaction, there's a cow. Then, oh, there's a nice stream there. So this kind of thing will actually, and then, like totally, not telling you about the golden flower, making you discover the golden flower is what we need to do, because that is going to make you have a real confidence for your own ability. And wrong timing, wrong coach, and wrong trainee has this a lot of ruining of this kind of thing. And this is because a concept is a very strange. It's like once there's a concept, it's really difficult to get rid of. You can get rid of your right ear if it is necessary. Just cut it. But if I ask you to forget Wednesday, it's going to be difficult. So it's like this. So giving wrong time, wrong person, I don't know, wrong coaching, maybe postponing the chance of understanding the mandala, the Samantabhadra, Dharmadhatu, whatever, for eons and eons and eons. So there's a lot of stories, the bodhisattvas. So if you ask me what to do, we should, this is actually one of the reasons why we also make offerings to Dakinis, because supposedly if you make offerings to the Dakinis, those who are guardian of the Tantra, even though some well-intended tantric teacher, but not well-equipped, so to speak, not so smart, even though they end up saying some things that are untimely, I don't know, they say some word that are premature, it's premature. Darkness will help you by coughing loud, so you will not hear. Supposedly, this is why we ask them to always guide us. Make sure that we don't hear untimely. It's very complicated and so complex, isn't it, the Tantra? It is its own civilization. I have to say, Tantra is probably the biggest, the best gift of this land. Really, really. If Tantra dies, that's it. There's no point of existence. It's really, really it's just so big and so complicated and complex and like this. At the same time, it's just so like eyelashes right in front of you. So simple. Okay, one or two more questions, then. Maybe two more questions and then.
I received a text from someone asking. Talk over that.
Okay.
I received a text from someone asking about the representation used by the bell when performing ritual and so on, and its combination with Vajras.
You have received a Vajrayana bell?
No, I received a text.
What did you say?
I received a text from
And
someone
then?
regarding what the symbolism of the bell is when performing rituals in combination with the Vajra as well. But particularly the bell. Particularly the bell.
Why we need it?
And its symbolism, yes.
You want to really stay here, right? Is that what you are asking?
Well, I could ask you the same thing about male or female aspect of ganja, couldn't I?
Actually, the Vajra and bell is a really, really wow, Vajra and bell. Is there a Vajra and bell by any chance? I'm sure somebody's carrying it. Vajra and bell. Can you go and get it? And meanwhile, maybe some other people ask, oh, here it is. Can you tell them no need? Well,
it's packed. I don't know how.
can you open it?
You want me to unpack?
Yes. So, like this. This one is a 5-spoke one. There's 1-spoke, 3-spoke, 9-spoke, and all that.
It's a very good fact. Sorry.
It's a. Okay, where do we begin? We begin with the bell, maybe, because this is the Shunyata, right? And this is actually really, really good to understand Shunyata. There's this, and there's this, cause and conditions. And there's this, and there's me. But most importantly, you have ear consciousness, but no sound. But now there's a sound. Out of nowhere, there's a sound. This is actually Upanakrama and Sampanakrama. Out of nowhere, just there's a sound. This represents the Shunyata, the consort. So therefore there's a sort of a female thing. There's too many. Sakya Pandita has a really good explanation on this. Now the Vajra, there's 5 spokes representing 5 wisdom, 5 skandhas, 5 emotions, all of that. But it's not like there's a hierarchy of 5 wisdom and the 5 negative emotions. Therefore, you have to always hold it like this because this is a better one. You can hold. In fact, there's a mudra of rotation. So no order, no hierarchy. Anger sometimes up on the top, mirror-like wisdom on the bottom. Also, in the middle is this circle or this round thing, which is usually, they never make it good. They're slightly sort of squished, right? It's the circle representing the no beginning, no end, no parameter, no diameter, no central. So therefore, and not only that. Okay, so Vajra is held by the right hand, usually, and the left hand, and then there's a mudras, sometimes even jumbling that order by doing it. So right hand, right one on the left and left one on the right. So you can see all this is all just to confuse the confusions. Okay, one more last question, and then, oh, 2 questions, right? Online.
If someone is not good at visualizing the picture of Bodhisattva and seed syllables, clearly while chanting a mantra, should they just focus on their own voice of chanting mantra?
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Then?
In sadhana, we visualize light purifying beings, transforming them into deity, but karma is an individual responsibility. Buddha himself cannot purify the karma of beings. How can our prayers alleviate the suffering of beings? How does it work?
So easy, this one, actually. So, okay, several levels. One, the fact that this is why a tantrika like you guys, alive, breathing, and practicing, such a blessing for the world. Because of their merit, you exist. Yeah. So this is why, yes, Buddha's statement that one's own karma must be dealt by yourself. No one else can wipe it out. This still stands because, especially, I think I've replied this a little bit earlier. Your existence is connected to these people, their, I don't know, merit. So it can be, okay, let's say, it can be like, this is why, like, also one is supposed to go to like place like a 24, one of the 20, or like what's the name of the Kangra Dakini Jamunda, right? Yeah, there's a Jamunda. Yeah, like place like that. One is supposed to go like a Kamakia, like a yes, Yogeshwari, and all these, because supposedly where there's a lot of yogis and where there's all that, what do you call it, energy, whoever dwells in there will have an impact. You know, we are still talking about the karma here. So it's not really violating the Buddha's statement. So there's that. So on that level, I hope not too confusing this answer. Okay, the Vajrayana level. Okay, wait. The other answer is this. In the from the absolute level, your actualization of this deva, the deity, when you reach to this level, there is no others who are committing this bad karma. So you are liberating them, or you have liberated them by liberating yourself. This is a little bit complex. I guess write it down somewhere and you can continue ask this if it is not satisfactory. But I think we will have to sort of end here by me telling you a little bit about practice. Okay, so practice. We are a practitioner, aspiring practitioner. Myself also, even though I'm taking a role of giving you these so-called teachings, but not really teachings, just because I've heard from my masters. So at times, with a little bit of good intention, at times just to, you know, like doing my duty, so to speak, you know, like since I've been told to teach and I've been raised to teach, I'm expected to teach. There's that a little bit. But, you know, there are some good, sometimes good intentions. There are sometimes good perceptions also. But also, I'm still an aspiring, you know, practitioner. And from that point of view, I want to just give you some advice. Many of you have heard this many times, but I will still repeat. This is what we call degenerated time. Degenerated time actually has a different meaning for the Tantra. It's kind of interesting, the Tantric people again. Degenerated time for Tantra is like a volatile time. Volatile time for Tantrika can be very, very, what's it, profit, you know, sort of rewarding time also. So there's that. But anyway, so much cause and conditions of distractions. Renunciation mind, revulsion towards the samsara, not that easy. I'm sure time to time, especially when things doesn't work well for your life, then it happens. But when things are really good, renunciation doesn't come. This is not just with you, this is with everyone, including myself, even though I'm teaching renunciation. Yes, and then we live in this kind of a society. We talked about servitude yesterday. In one way, things are very easy. Just about 10 years ago, there's no Amazon and what is it, DHL service in Bir. Now we have Amazon. I think it was in Zongsar Sheda. Once I was driving in and this Amazon delivery came also ahead of me, and there's like so many boxes. I was so surprised. Wow, in Bir there's Amazon. Then, of course, Netflix, TikTok, all of that is also there. So sadhaka, people who are doing sadhana, tantrika, people who are aspiring to practice, just a few words. Just don't lose trust to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Surely you will not remember Buddha, Dharma and Sangha every second, every moment. But not to lose the trust and the reliance, if possible, not to lose this. So important, I think. And then also not to lose trust in cause, condition and effect, not only on the surface level, superficial level, but it's very myriad, incredible ways. Many times people don't seem to understand. People ask about karma. People ask me, why Donald Trump is so bad, but why he has a good karma of never getting caught? That is a perfect, example of not understanding the karma. It's got nothing to do with the karma. Why do you think it's a good karma? Maybe his bad karma is making him even more, create more condition to create more bad karma. If it is a bad karma, we never know, We really never know. And anyway, few millions of us have decided that he's not good. And I don't know, really, so difficult to decide something is bad and good. The only good and bad for a Dharma practitioner is whatever the situation you are in, if it is taking you closer to the truth, then that's good. So from this point of view, I have personally met a lot of people who suddenly have a, health situation, and then they become a better Dharma practitioner. I also know one of my own attendant, I should not name it. I put one of those hallucinogenic mushroom in the fridge. I don't know what happened. I think it is during the COVID time. I think they didn't have much things to eat, I guess, during one of those lockdown. So he was taking out things to eat, so he ate a lot of that. And the other attendant called me. I was somewhere, I think I was in Taiwan. But I think this guy is dying. So what's happened? Oh, Vikano is just sweating, he's speaking things, and he's like, acting so strange. I asked, what kind of strange? Oh, he says he's seeing Guru Rinpoche. Really? So then I asked, what happened? Is there like a lot of heat? I said, no. Then as I asked more, they said, oh, he add this. I didn't put a, what do you call it, clear note on. After that, he sort of become a kind of more interested in Dharma. We never know. Anyway, many of you, like, like this lady, it's, for her, I would say, marijuana, LSD, brought to Buddha Dharma. Can you please not edit this out from. Anyway, good and bad, we don't know. So what I want to say is, trust in the karma, but in the deeper, more really myriad ways the karma plays, we never know. To that. And then longing to practice, feeling guilty not practicing, I think this is good. I've said this to many people. If you die today thinking that I'm not practicing enough, you are dying like a lion. But if you think you have practiced a lot just because you chant a lot of mantras or have studied, read so many sutras, more likely you are dying like a fly. This, really, this urgency, longing for Dharma, I think this is something that you should do it. Not, like this constant needing, wanting to practice. And that's the thing. And practice, when I say practice, it should not be limited to things like actually reading a sadhana. That of course helps, but really in the sadhaka's case, remembering the deity. For a Mahayana, remembering the, bodhicitta. For a, Sharvakayana, remembering anicca, dukkha, anatta. The truth, basically. That you can remember during the shower, during the cooking. You should count that. You should count that as practice. And also, not to strain yourself by thinking you need to practice many hours. Short, but many times, and consistent always is the good strategy, because you are trying to combat habitual patterns. For that, you need to develop different kinds of habitual patterns. And developing the habitual patterns, the best way is doing it short, but many times, and consistent. So do this. I've said this many times. Also, not to wait for a proper time, space, and a situation to practice Dharma. It doesn't really happen. If you are thinking about being a deity while in the toilet, do it. Don't wait until you go to the bedroom or the shrine. Just do it whenever you can. So treasuring, basically, treasuring the Dharma. This is something that you can do. And by having this, I think this will push you to be a real tantrika. And you should celebrate. You should really, yes, in one way, degenerated time, or the great masters are going, people have become so materialistic, all of that. But on the other hand, it's amazing that we are talking about shunyata, bodhicitta, deity, Mahasukha. So amazing, we are still talking like this. And in many ways, it's even more available than ever before. So something that one could also celebrate. So I think with this, we will just end, but